Hi, I'm Justin, and this is an overview of the proof layer that's part of the Decilium protocol. Um, as is the case with the rest of the videos, the general realization that's important to keep in mind is that the Decilium protocol's all about users bringing their own devices. So the key insight in this mesh network is that, when you are crafting your engineering solutions to problems, you can actually get the users to operate parts of your platform. The proof protocol is the most foundational part of the Decilium software package. Proofs are, they break down into what is in Web3 called a wallet, messages, encryption, and hashes. So this library serves as the basis for all, you could say, record keeping, messaging, security, and proofs that the framework supports. So let's dive into it. The basic example we're going to talk about is validating and restoring and encrypting files. So as you may have seen before, on this diagram, we have the user's personal computer on the left, other computers that are running the Decilium software in the center, corporate resources on the right, and anything, any developer or founder computers in the lower right. So, as you might imagine, in a legacy situation, if you want to create a service that encrypts and restores people's files, you might rely on something like AWS to spin up a web server where people can upload their files. And then on the server, you might do something like derive a key, maybe for the account or for the whole server or whatever. You have to derive some sort of key, and then you would encrypt the document for security reasons. And generally, you would discard the file after, and you might back up or obfuscate the key in some password manager. Um, you know, when the user on another computer or somewhere else decides to recover this file, you're put in a situation where you have to actually do this decryption on behalf of the user. And then, part of this is also that if someone has an invalid file that they upload, you'll be able to cross-reference it and see that it doesn't match the encrypted version. So you get some measure of validation there as well. Obviously, this approach puts people at risk. So no matter where you put the key, your corporation or your developer, may or may not be able to manage this key properly. It's very easy to get hacked. People get hacked all the time. You have to actually decrypt this file on behalf of the user. So there's a hacking target there. Um, you know, so in general, and the web server itself is a vulnerability, including all the databases and things like that. So this, because of this, you have to support the demands of government and or jurisdictional audits. You have to secure your system and protect from hackers. And in general, it can be somewhat of a challenging problem from an operations perspective to maintain large amounts of keys and data, or even just one key and lots of data on behalf of your users. So the decentralized version of this is a bit different. So the Decilium software actually comes with an end-to-end encryption library, meaning no matter what devices users bring, they can actually perform this encryption on their device, including deriving not just the encrypt file itself, but also they could just extract proofs, and proofs can be useful in various contexts. So the proofs then can be manually sent to other people's computers. Again, this is the proof layer. This is not a networking layer. So in this example, people would take it upon themselves to replicate this information. Or you might manually code in your web app or another app the mechanism to transfer these proofs and or files around. But what's interesting here is that if you program your application in a certain way, there's no need for any corporate custody of the keys, or there's no need for any exposure to private data, including the ability to prove the validity of documents. That can all be done on client side of the application. This includes the case where the primary user may turn off their computer. If you have the proofs or have the encrypted documents, it's possible to do validation or to rederive the document as required. So, that's the general. There's lots of other features that the proof library can help secure, including like scanning image files, chat logs, and things like that, and making sure to keep those assets secure. So in general, that was an overview of the proof layer. The proof layer is the most fundamental layer, but obviously doesn't come with any messaging or network features. It's just a great library for securing and restoring and analyzing information across, web browser, PC, Mac, and also Android and iOS. All right, thanks very much. Goodbye.